Welcome to the Destin Business Forum, brought to you by the Destin Area Chamber of Commerce. I am your host, Amy Perry, and our first guest is the Honorable Sam Seevers, Mayor of Destin. Welcome, Mayor.
Thank you for having me today. It's great.
It's nice to have you. I feel so honored. People use that word a lot, honored.
No, not really.
Oh, I bet. Okay, I know we have just a little bit of time and we have a lot to talk about.
Okay.
So I wanted to ask you some questions about the city manager. And I know we don't have one yet, but first let's talk about the process of getting a city manager. Can you just go over how you do that, or how?
Certainly. Back in May, the City Council voted to hire Colin Benzinger and Associates. They're a firm out of South Florida, and they're great at doing these kinds of things, particularly providing people for government jobs. And Mr. Benzinger came in to the City Hall and he interviewed each and every City Council member and some of our senior staff folks, because they needed to get a pretty clear and concise idea of the type of person that we're looking for. And also, they interviewed staff people, some of our senior members of staff. And what they did from there is they put together a profile, a recruitment profile for a city manager. Back probably the first week of August, the City of Destin and the City Council got together and they approved that profile. And then Mr. Benzinger at that time, he put the profile online, and then he sent it to about 7,000 government professionals around the United States of America.
Wow, big pool.
Big pool to pick from. And I think one of the most interesting parts of that, and something that I'm pretty proud of, because I'm always proud of the City of Destin, but we received 170 applicants from just that particular process. Wow. We did narrow it down to about 10 candidates. It got, again, brought up to the City Council. We narrowed it back down to 7 applicants. And of those 7, one of them actually dropped out. And we are going to, on Friday, August the 19th, and I'm not really sure when this is airing, but we are going to have a reception for the public, for anyone from the public that would like to come to speak to these candidates.
Oh, great.
And it's really helpful to the City Council and myself to get a feel for, the personalities of these individuals. We have also agreed to have their spouses in. I think that's really, really important. Sure. From that day, which is Friday, then we wrap that up in the afternoon and evening. We've invited community leaders to come as well. And on Saturday morning, we're going to get up and we're going to all divvy up time slots between the mayor and council, and we're going to interview these candidates. That'll probably take a good part of the entire day on Saturday. And then on Monday, the 22nd, we're going to come back as a city council, and we're going to vote on that city manager.
So you will have somebody by the 22nd of August?
A candidate to hire, correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So can you share with us what the council is looking for in the next city manager?
Certainly. First of all, you've got specific requirements. 5 years is either a city or county manager, possibly 10 years as a director of a big business, or a business person that's got that experience.
As a substitute instead of the 5 year.
Absolutely. Also, someone that's got a bachelor's degree in public administration, somebody that can communicate really, really well, someone that's open-minded. We're hoping to get someone that's got a little bit of background in tourism of some sort. Mm-hmm. Doesn't necessarily have to be a beach community, but anything similar to that would be helpful. Destin's got 12,305 people in it, but any given day during the summer, we swell to about 65 to 70,000 people. So that's a pretty important aspect of what this person needs to have. I think one of the best qualities that we can get in a city manager, and this is a personal thing for me, is a sense of humor.
That's probably needed.
It really is helpful to have, you know, when we're going through stressful times. You know, we need someone that's going to get along well with others and play well together and that type of thing. Someone also, I think, that's really important, and the city council did specifically say that this was important, was someone that can interact with different government officials. You know, the city, we are so lucky in the fact that we get along so well with the other cities and municipalities, not only around us, but in the region and all of Northwest Florida and beyond. We also have an outstanding relationship with the county. And that took a while to establish and build those bridges and the bonds that we have now. And we want to make sure we keep that. That is very important. Also, you know, with our state and federal officials. So we want someone that can fit in well, I think, not only just with the folks, the city council, but also in the community, you know, the chamber. Big, important person, you know, this person needs to be able to communicate with the chamber and realize that their views are very important to us too. So that's a big part of who we're looking for.
Well, they're going to have some big shoes to fill, right?
Certainly.
What's the timeline once you've narrowed it down to one? I assume one will come out of that. And I was writing down some numbers as you were speaking, from 7,000 to 170 to 6. That's a lot of cutting, and I know that's very, very difficult to do. And not a lot of people appreciate that you have that to do as well as all the other duties that you do as mayor and as city council people. When's the time frame for the city manager to start their job? Well,
we're going to, as I said before, we are going to make a decision on August 22nd. And that decision is going to be a motion for us to negotiate a contract with this particular person. Now, keep in mind, whoever this person is, if they're established in their own community, that means that they own their own home probably. They'd have to list their house for sale, and so we've got to give them some time to be able to relocate. If we're lucky, which, you know, I have high hopes that maybe we will, we'll get someone that can relocate pretty quickly. And the one most important thing I think that I left out a minute ago was that any person that's chosen for this particular job, we want them to live within the city limits. And we've given them a time frame. We can hire them, but then within 6 months, they need to live within the city. We want somebody who loves that city and has a vested interest, just like all the rest of us do. So that's important.
I know we're almost out of time, but I wanted to touch on a couple of other things about the budget. Can you just, since we don't have much time, just touch on the most important parts of the budget for 2010?
Certainly.
2011, I guess.
Well, one thing, the most important thing, we've kept our millage rate low, one of the lowest in the state, 1.455 mils. We've had a 30% reduction in our staff. Anything that we are going to do this year is not taken out of the general fund. It's from different types of impact fees that are paid. We're going to build a pavilion at Morgan Sports Center for the kids, and that's all taken out of impact fees, so it's not taken out of the general funds.
Great.
And our staff they know they have to do more for less, and we've not cut any services within the city of Destin at all.
Great news, great to hear. More, you know, unfortunately that's just what people have to do now, more with less, but I think Destin's doing that. Thank you so much, Mayor, for coming and talking to us. I wish we had more time, but will you come back?
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, and good luck on getting a new city manager. We'll be back with Sterling Resorts.